my gosh. Spider-Man No Way Home is here and it's friggin' amazing. So much so that you're going to get a second spoiler warning here. That's right, go see the movie, then come back. Spoilers from now in 3, 2, 1, and Darth Vader is Luke's father. For real though, was your cinema as stoked as ours was? Holy moly, remember back in the day when Infinity War hit and everybody was like, if anybody would have told me in 2008, after Iron Man 1 came out, I got to see the Avengers fighting Thanos, I would have thought them cray-cray. And now, the same sentiment. If anybody would have told me in 2001, after the release of Spider-Man 1, I would get to see... Holy shit, I actually get to say this. Ned Leeds as a sorcerer? I would have had so many questions. But honestly, seeing Tobey's and Andrew's Spidey next to Tom's was friggin' awesome. Their chemistry as Spider-Man, everybody being so supportive, so wholesome, that's some good shit right there. I mean, think about it. The MCU, superhero movies in general, have come a long way in these past years. Just in the MCU alone, in Phase 1, we get a lot of hero versus mirror villain action, both sharing the same power set. And then the Avengers, the first crossover, a milestone in comic book movie history. So much so that we're even still revisiting the Battle of New York to this day. I feel like somewhere in there they started experimenting and I'm glad they did. How about we do a genre collab? Can we make characters work that only hardcore fans know about? We got hero versus hero, we saw the universe grow and expand, more diverse heroes, and then all of them coming together to create the biggest crossover in cinema history. And it worked. Sure, we got some misses here and there, but overall, it bloody worked. And I'm so glad to see Marvel taking off the safety goggles now that we're in Phase 4. And with that being said, let's finally talk some Spidey. First off, this movie just worked for me. The overall story, the character moments, the villains, I really think they delivered on an insane promise. Starting right where we left off in Far From Home, I really love how we actually got to see some of the ramifications of Peter's identity being revealed. What it means to be the most popular teenager from one moment to the next in a world that generally regards you as a hero, but you're also still a vigilante, and thanks to Mysterio, some people think you're the bad guy too. And then we actually got to see Charlie Cox, Matt Murdock in the MCU. What the hell? And that brick catch? Jesus Christ. With everything that happened in this movie, it's hard not to miss this moment that would otherwise totally be the focus in any other situation. And then Pete tries to fix things with the help of Mephisto, Doctor Strange of course. Fan speculation. You just gotta love it. And then things go sideways fast, with the villains popping through. And I really appreciate the different spin that they took here, with Pete fighting them not because they're bad guys, but because he wants to help them. And that even goes so far that he fights and bests Doctor Strange over it. Awesome battle by the way, with Pete ultimately winning by using math to beat magic. That's right folks, math is the new most powerful force in the MCU. Doc actually being cured by the way, 7th time I shed a tear by that point. And then May died. Talk about an emotional roller coaster, am I right? But then when all things seemed lost, there was Andrew. And then Tobey. Gosh, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I could spend hours on end gushing over that reveal scene. But from a different angle, how genius is it to kickstart this new multiverse era with characters that fans hold so dear to their hearts? And then the lab scene, them prepping to heal all the villains, Nat getting freaked out by Tobey's story about Harry, was fantastic. We get more of each Peter's brains and overall some great character moments with everybody. The final battle was a slam dunk for me as well. I know someone's gonna come with, man, they really figured out how to work together quite fast, didn't they? But honestly, I don't care. When Andrew Spidey caught MJ, I lost my shit. That together with his line about stopping to pull his punches, giving us the really raw version of the character, just got to me. I also really enjoyed how they constructed the last fight with Goblin and the MCU Spider-Man. And then Tobey having to step in because otherwise Tom Spidey would have outright murdered him. Awesome. And then finally, MCU Spidey having to make the big sacrifice with everybody forgetting about him. Honestly, this movie did so much work not just for the MCU or the other Spider-Man movies, but for this version of Spider-Man, who now seems to be in the best place that any version could ever hope to be for future events. Man, what a ride. But what do you guys think? What were your favorite moments? How do you feel about the character going forward? Leave us a comment and subscribe if you like to see more videos like this one. Check out our last one on Guardians if you haven't already. That's all we got for now. See you next time when we talk cosmic. No, when we canon. Goodbye.